Another thing he talked about in a debate was that, and this was powerful, I mean, it was powerful, that, that so many people will talk to him and say, well, my minister just will not talk about politics because he's afraid he might offend someone. And his advice was, leave the church. Quit sitting there being taught by cowards who are afraid to speak the truth. Stop writing the checks. First of all, leave the church and stop writing the checks to the ministry if they're too cowardly to talk about the subject of politics. Now, how do you think cowardly preachers took that? How do you think they took that? Oh, Charlie Kirk had many enemies, believe me. And when I talk about talking about politics, I mean, I've had people in our church say, you talk about politics, I'm leaving the church. Well, good for you. Leave the church, okay? All right? I'm not talking about party lines. I'm not talking about you need to be a Democrat or a Republican. I'm not talking about, you need to vote for this person or that person. What I'm saying is, as a minister, it is your civil duty not only to vote, you're born with this duty, but to educate your congregation about what each party stands for. That is your civil duty to do that. And you should do it about election time, okay? Another comment I have heard that, religious people, well, it's like I'm too righteous to vote. We're not of this world, which is the stupidest statement I've ever heard in my entire life. What do you mean you're not of this world? The last time I checked, maybe it's all a reality. Maybe it's a figment of my imagination. Maybe I'm not really doing this program right now. Maybe I'm somewhere else, I don't know. But, we're not of this world, so we shouldn't vote. Or I'm too righteous to choose the lesser of two evils. Well, that's the only choice you have, is to choose the lesser of two evils. When we ask for a king, a president, to rule over us, the only choice you had from that point forward was to choose the lesser of two evils. Not only are you a part of this world, you are a part of a broken world, and we all had our part in its brokenness. It's called sin. That's our part in this broken world. That's how we created a broken world. And by the grace, today, if you have repented and accepted Christ as your personal Savior, you are what you are by the grace of God. You're doing better today. Okay. It was not just the radical left that hated Charlie Kirk. We talk about George Soros, who has admitted, a billionaire who has admitted to hating America and wanting to destroy it and make it a third world country. Okay? He has agitators that he sends out to stir up a ruckus, like at a Charlie Kirk campaign, where they all had the same exact signs, 200 people with the exact, it's a well-organized, greased machine, believe me, and they go in there to stir up stuff. They pay them. They're a bunch of deadbeat bums that are not working anyway, and they're paid to go out, and they're called agitators. Okay?
Check us out on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.com.